theoretical things that you read in a textbook and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
with intellectual disabilities and physical disabilities, there's like a huge range of the severity and the
Yeah.
types. So it's not that the class doesn't do anything. Like it is a pretty good starting point, but you learn way much by working with these people
Oh
hands on
yeah.
because a lot of them are very well, they're all very different. I mean, I've seen a lot of people and it's very funny. I think in my life I've made shitty decisions. I've done shitty things and I'm not gonna say I was always like oblivious of what, well, I wasn't like always blindly doing crappy stuff. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
I did a couple of things in my life that were intentionally wrong and I knew it and I still did it. But I don't think I'm like fundamentally a horrible person for that.
Mm.
I mean, I've taken bad decisions, but one of the good things about me is I definitely can own up to my mistakes. Borderline personality disorder, sometimes mostly on the social aspect, like relationships, not like boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean, like just relationships in general. I can do weird things, like say weird things that I probably shouldn't have. But then it's like when I say this stuff, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, yeah, you can say that, it's fine. But then I wake up in the middle of the night 4 months later, and I'm like,
Oh
why
no.
would you say that, you dumbass? So that's what I find hard with my borderline personality. It's kind of like, 'cause I don't want to blame things on mental illness. I think it can explain some things, but it doesn't excuse it. It doesn't excuse it. Is that a good word? Well, yeah, it's not like a good excuse. Like, I can't go. Let's say I insult you, and I'm like, oh, well, I have borderline personality. That's why I insulted you. It's fine. I don't need to say I'm sorry. No, maybe I accidentally insulted you, and I didn't realize it because of my weird personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I still owe you an apology for what I did. It's not like, oh, all is fine because of my disorder. Something that's common in BPD and other illnesses too is having addiction issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was addicted to like pot and alcohol, which are both legal where I'm from, so they're kind of easy to get too. I was kind of in denial of the addiction. Well, kind of like I knew I was addicted, but I was like, that's like not my first problem right now. I got to
Mm-hmm.
deal with me being mean or stuff like that. And going to rehab was something that really like changed my life for the better. And I just learned like kind of, you know what? Stop fighting. I just was like, okay, if I want to get through this, I'm going to have to dig deep down, and when I see something I don't like, just deal with it, move on. And that's not something that I was able to do at all in the past. I would like fight any little thing that was like against morals or my morals, or like I would like get in a fight with anyone. And when I went to rehab, I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm defeated. I just want to get better and let's do this. So I feel like my limit was tested a lot when I was there. So I kind of learned. Actually, I got a tattoo for this. It's Mandarin fish. It's colorful.
Okay.
When I was in rehab, one thing that I would tell myself a lot was don't take the bait. So the fish just represents if I don't take the bait, then I'll become a beautiful Mandarin goby fish. This is Sunflower.
Oh yeah. Hello there.
His name in French, I call it, his name is Tournesol in French, but it translates to sunflower in English.
Okay.
He's my rescue alarm clock.
The ruiner of sleeps.
Yeah. Look at him, he looks like the Phantom of the Opera. So I call him Sunflower of the Opera. Oh God, look, it's the wrestling match.
Uh-oh. Well, the last one is definitely what? Oh,
I'm not sure right now because they're meowing a bit.
I thought the left one was winning, but now I think the right one is winning.
What?
Oh, I thought the left one was winning, but now I think the right one has taken control of the
Yeah,
match.
who's winning?
Uh-oh.
They always it's kind of hard to tell because now they're meowing a bit, but I mean, if they were fighting, I think one of them would have tried to leave.
So would you say that your cat keep you grounded, or like would keep you
Yeah.
grounded?
Yeah, I mean, I was at work yesterday and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to go see my cats. It's like, well, yes, they do keep me grounded. They are a motivation to stay sober also, because when I was using at some point, I had to leave my cat, my first cat, with my parents for a while because I really wasn't doing good and my apartment was a mess and it was just really too much. But now I got him back and I got another one to play with him because they're both very social. So since I'm back in school and I'm back to work, I wanted him to have like a friend to play with while I'm not there. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Hello, welcome to my podcast, To My One Joe Suits. I am Joe Suits, and I'll be giving a mic to Veronique. Veronique is a French Canadian who has multiple borderline personality disorder and dealing with Tourettes. All the shit she's been through has made her to be a great carer for a disability, both physical and mental, and now works with the elderly. So before we begin, imagine there is a button. If you could press the button and all if you could press the button, all your diseases would disappear, but a random person had to die. Would you press the button?
I don't think I would, like not right now. I think in the past I probably would have been like, yeah, let's do it, press the button, no hesitation. But right now I'm doing great, so I think I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think I would. Nobody deserves to die. We're good.
I, I'm,
Nobody needs
I'll
to
just,
die.
I would say no one deserves to die. There's some people that deserve to die. Like,
Yeah, no, I meant nobody needs to die. I mean, I'm translating from French to English, so I might kind of choose the wrong words sometime, but I meant nobody needs to die, not nobody deserves to die. I mean, no.
ah, okay, I see you. Okay,
Yeah,
so we have Veronique not pressing the button. Okay,
I don't think I
no
would. No.
worries. I did love asking the question. Okay,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I did love asking the question. So always curious. All right. So since you work with disability people of all variations of severity, do you find it hard to work with others who go through shit while dealing with your own shit?
Actually, working with people with well, it was mostly intellectual disabilities. Some had physical disabilities also, including intellectual. It's something that I really, really love. It's kind of like what drives me to wake up in the morning, and that's it's
Mhm.
really what's fun for me. Like right now I'm doing geriatrics, but I'm also volunteering in an organization that gives swimming classes for kids that have special needs, kind of a lot of range. But
Oh, that's awesome.
so like it's really just something that I love. It really helps me kind of like get out of BPD pattern, stuff like that. It's so no, not really, because it's my escape. It's what I like to do, working with these people, and I mean, I do it for the fun of it. Like it's really yeah. So no, I don't find it that hard.
Well, I mean, that's great to hear. I mean, it's also great that you have your own experience so you can kind of know what to say or do based on experience versus it being taught a textbook because experience is the king to everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, I am doing a special care counseling course in Cégep, kind of like college here, but it's like between I don't know, weird program between high school and college that you can find in Quebec pretty much only. And so I'm doing a special care counseling degree. And like, you see things in the class, like you do see like theoretical things that you read in a textbook and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
with intellectual disabilities and physical disabilities, there's like a huge range of the severity and the
Yeah.
types. So it's not that the class doesn't do anything. Like it is a pretty good starting point, but you learn way much by working with these people
Oh
hands on
yeah.
because a lot of them are very well, they're all very different. I mean, I've seen a lot of people and it's very funny.
Yeah, it's so hard about the disability community. It's so like vast and huge, and you're not only dealing with the actual disability, but you're also dealing with their personalities too. Because the
Yeah.
personality can change just the way they react so differently. That's almost like yes, you
Yeah.
can go to school for, but at the same time, it's almost useless because it doesn't like it's not like it's not like example A and you do the same thing. It's always has to be a little bit different or tweaked because you're dealing with an actual human being with
Yeah.
almost it's almost like school is not even worth it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so it's a very wide range, so you kind of have to be in it hands-on to know how to do things. And even it always depends with who, because sometimes, let's say you do this, you give this person a Game Boy, like as a reward or something. You give them like a
Okay.
game and they're happy and cool, that's a good reward for them. But then another person, you give them a Game Boy, they're gonna like throw it and destroy it. It's like
Oh
there's
no.
not one way that like fits for everyone. It's really like little things but for everyone, and yeah, that's what I like about it. There's just so many different people with different types of personalities and just they're very funny. They're great.
Wow. I never dealt with them in a like teacher kid kind of relationship. I guess I was just always one of them, and I just live looking and observing myself. I just found it extremely hard to do. Because yes, sometimes you can kind of predict what they're gonna do, but sometimes
Sometimes you can't.
they're at the same time they're almost unpredictable too, and sometimes you just don't know how to control them. Even if you did everything right, like sometimes it's just
It
and
just
I just
doesn't work that day because that day they just don't want to. Yeah. Yeah, it is like that too. They it's yeah, sometimes it's just the day, but like when you think about it, like you and me, there are some days where you're just like not in a good mood and not happy and just don't want to do anything. Well, it's the same thing for them, but let's say the ones who are nonverbal or maybe autistic people who maybe have more trouble putting into words what they want,
mm-hmm,
what they're feeling. So those people, they don't exactly have words to say, hey, I don't feel like doing this right now because
yeah.
like I'm tired or my stomach hurts. And so you have to guess what's wrong. And you're probably not gonna guess it on the first try. So, and they have very good reasons to start being like annoyed with it because, well, I mean, if their stomach's hurting, if they're just tired, and you're trying to make them walk, and it's it can be hard to understand what they want. That's kind of when it becomes unpredictable, I'd say.
No, exactly. Do you get a do you get like a I guess maybe like a report of the person before you start working with the person,
Yes.
possibly from the parent or like the lot, maybe the other coworkers, I guess, just to be like,
Yes.
hey, this guy
Always.
doesn't like, I don't know,
Like
lice or something.
yes, you do. You do always get that. Then that's kind of necessary. So yeah, we definitely have that. But the
Uh,
parents, if it's a respite place, usually it's gonna be the parents that are gonna give you like a heads up of how it's been going today. But you also get to see like some reports on how the last times they came to respite went, or really just general profile of the person.
Yeah, I wonder what they said on my chart.
I
Like
wonder what
any,
you put on mine too. That's a good question. Huh?
I mean, I mean, well, I guess you don't have a record about yourself, so you can't look
No.
for yourself.
No. Yeah. No, 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 no. I don't have a record of myself. Huh.
It was a bit curious of what people say about me
Yeah.
objectively, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good idea who I am as a person, so like, even if I did read it, I wouldn't be like, nah, this person lying. I'd probably be like, yep, that sounds like me, alright.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
No, me, I don't know if I'd want to see it. Yeah, I really
I
don't know
mean,
if I mean, of course, I would be curious, but like, I don't know if it would make me feel good to read that.
yeah, well, I mean, I think for me, as I'm such a polarizing person, and I video edit all my videos, so I have like I get a really personal relationship with myself,
Oh, yeah, that
so
does
I still
make
like
sense.
see myself like all the time, so I'm able to be like, it's almost like I can see myself as this third person, and just like
Yeah,
look at me because so like for me, I'll be like, oh, like when I see a video of myself, I'll be like, oh, yep, that's me. Obviously, that's me, but like, even if I did hear myself, and even between like the audio or something, and you'd be like, does it sound like you? I'll be like, yep, that sounds like me. They try to be, authentic all the way through.
yeah. Well,
Like,
that's great. That's great. That's I think I'm an authentic person too. I mean, even without wanting to be authentic, I am. I like can't not be myself.
no, I mean that's great too. I'm just, I mean, to me, I'm just kind of self-aware of the world, but at the same time, there's also this. I don't know what a good word for it, but there's this kind of this like this sprinkle of. I'm trying to think of like how to describe it, but like this sprinkle of like joyness out of the world. I think it would put it that way. I,
Yeah,
like the way I would think of it. So let's say like like objectively speaking, you can say like if you're a shitty person, you deserve shitty things, right? But
yeah,
then there's, but then there's just like there are shitty people, but who do get great things happen to them, even though they're shitty people. But and then vice versa. But there's just like the beautifulness, I guess, to an aspect
yeah,
sometimes, and it's like it's hard to explain logically, if that makes sense.
yeah. It does. Yeah.
Like
I
it's
think. Wait, what was I gonna say before that? Shitty. I think in my life, I've made shitty decisions. I've done shitty things, and I'm not gonna say I was always like oblivious of what, well, I wasn't like always blindly doing crappy stuff. I mean, sometimes
yeah.
I did a couple of things in my life that were intentionally wrong and I knew it and I still did it. But I don't think I'm like fundamentally a horrible person for that.
Mm.
I mean, I've taken bad decisions, but one of the good things about me is I definitely can own up to my mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I wouldn't, yeah, that's something that's hard for me because yeah, that's something that's hard for me to like cope with. I've done a lot of more like socially, like I didn't kill someone, but I mean, I I've been crappy to some people and they didn't deserve
Yeah.
that, and I feel bad about it, but like what's past is past. I can only try to not redo it again, and I'm really like on my kind of like road to recovery, I'm gonna say, is just trying to not repeat the mistakes of the past that I have repeated so many
Well,
times.
yeah, you're growing up.
Yeah, with borderline personality disorder, sometimes mostly on the social aspect, like relationships, not like boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean, like just relationships in general. I can do weird things, like say weird things that I probably shouldn't have. But then it's like when I say this stuff, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, yeah, you can say that. It's fine. But then I wake up in the middle of the night 4 months later and I'm like,
Oh
why
no.
would you say that, you dumbass? So that's what I find hard with my borderline personality. It's kind of like because sometimes, really, in the moment, I don't see what I'm saying or doing that is that wrong. And then I realize it later, and I'm like, but there are some times in my life where, I mean, I think we've all been not nice to somebody at some point, but I mean, mistakes happen, and just I'm trying not to redo those things.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great human being right there. I mean, you're
Thank,
learning from your mistakes, and they're just,
yeah,
yeah, you're just growing up, and of course you don't want to repeat the shitty thing. It's the
yeah,
shitty people that keep doing the same thing, knowing it's shitty, and they keep doing it. Those are shitty people.
yeah. No, yeah, that's it. I think I was, because I don't want to blame things on mental illness. I think it can explain some things, but it doesn't excuse it. It doesn't excuse it. Is that a good word? Well, yeah, it's not like a good excuse. Like, I can't go, let's say I insult you and I'm like, oh, well, I have borderline personality. That's why I insulted you. It's fine. I don't need to say I'm sorry. No. Maybe I accidentally insulted you and I didn't realize it because of my weird personality,
Mm-hmm.
but I still owe you an apology for what I did. It's not like, oh, all is fine because of my disorder.
I totally get you. I get where you're coming from. It's just kind of like a gray area of things. Okay, like what do you excuse and what do you not
Yeah.
forgive, I guess. And it's really
Yeah.
complicated.
It's not
But it's
even
great.
not forgive. It's just if you can own up to it and just like, well, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was wrong, but now I do. I understand why that hurt your feelings, and I'll try not to do it again. I'm sorry. My borderline personality
Mhm.
sometimes it kind of makes me biased over things I say, so it wasn't my intention to hurt you, and I'm sorry. That's one thing, but being like, oh, I insulted you, but I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. I don't care because I have borderline personality. I can insult you if I want.
Okay, I
You
mean,
like understand where I'm coming from?
I totally do. It's more, not, can I say I have borderline personality disorder when I insult someone so they
No,
feel,
I don't know. Well, okay, you're making a joke. I just I don't know. I used the insult example, but I mean, it might not be insults. It might just, I don't know. That was like the easiest example I thought of.
no, I totally get it. I mean, I totally get it. It's just hard to, it's just a gray area of how to
Yeah, how
forgive
to,
and like forget. Do you like to don't talk to the person again? Like is it, like I understand like you are trying to, now you are trying to control it and be more mindful of it, but it's, as the other person, it's always difficult. How do I, well, let's say I'm the other person, like do I forgive you and forget? Do I just never talk to you again because I'm insulted? It's such a hard, like, should I be mad at you? Should I be mad at the disease? It's such a, I think it just really depends on, I guess, the context and I guess the human nature of the person too. I think
yeah.
that you made a good point that you know you have it and you're apologetic, but you're also
Oh, I'm kind of
like
like
you
aware.
mean your apology. Like you're not just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm a shitty person, please accept me. Like I'm sorry, like I'm trying to not be a shitty person, but sometimes it just comes out wrong and like
Yeah,
I
that's
must say I
something.
can't control it. I just can't, but like I'm sorry for that happening, and it's like
Yeah. It's, yeah. It's, Yeah, it's kind of difficult. I mean, one of the things that does kind of stress me out now is just thinking that people would think that I'm genuinely a horrible person for everything all the mistakes I've done in my past, and I'm like, it's hard because like some part of it is mental illness, some part of it
Mm-hmm.
is some part of it is kind of due to mental illness. Some part of it, maybe it was just me being a shitty teenager, being mean to other teenagers, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not okay, but I mean, it happened. And it's just, yeah, so I mean, I have really got redemption, honestly, recently in the past year. Something that's common in BPD and other illnesses too is having addiction issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was addicted to like pot and alcohol, which are both legal where I'm from, so they're kind of easy to get too. I was kind of in denial of the addiction. Well, kind of like I knew I was addicted, but I was like, that's like not my first problem right now. That's I got to
Mm-hmm.
deal with me being mean or stuff like that. And going to rehab was something that really like changed my life for the better. And I realize it now, but not like just now. Like, I mean, I went to rehab and my rehab place was special, to say the least. Not in a good way. But and I just learned like kind of, you know what? Stop fighting. I just was like, okay, if I want to get through this, I'm gonna have to dig deep down, and when I see something I don't like, just deal with it, move on, and that's not something that I was able to do at all in the past. I would like fight any little thing that was like against morals or my morals or like I would like get a fight with in a fight with anyone. And when I went to rehab, I was like, no, I can't do this. I'm defeated. I just want to get better and let's do this. So I feel like my limit was tested a lot when I was there. So I kind of learned. Actually, I got a tattoo for this. It's Mandarin fish. It's colorful.
Okay.
When I was in rehab, one thing that I would tell myself a lot was don't take the bait. So the fish just represents if I don't take the bait, then I'll become a beautiful Mandarin goby fish.
No, that's a
Uh,
pretty good analogy to it. I mean, it's
yeah,
awesome to see you. I mean, I don't know how you were before, so I really don't know, but it's awesome to see you like flourishing and seeming to do a lot better. And like, I'm sure you have your shitty days too, but it seems that
yeah.
you're living a much better life, and I think
Oh, yeah.
just hopping on the podcast alone is a big step for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I mean, going and I'm 1 year and actually almost a year and a month sober.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
congrats.
Thank you. And I was surprised. Well, because I was surprised, I didn't think I could do it, but like, yeah, I did it. But also, it really, really, really helped with my mood, which was a very big problem with the BPD. There comes big, like, mood swings. Like,
Mm-hmm.
in an hour I can be super happy, then I'll be sad and depressed, and then I'll be really angry, and then I'll be happy again, and then I don't know, it's like crazy. It's the mood switches very, very fast. Actually, the difference between bipolar and BPD, kind of like, people kind of mix those up a lot. But bipolar, you're gonna go like manic and then depression episode on long periods. Like you can be manic for 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, or longer.
Mm-hmm.
And but with the BPD, it's all like in the same day. It's all in the range of a few hours that the mood shifts like crazy. So that's really hard. And stop and to not using anymore, that really, really helped my mood. And I think maybe it helped medication work better a bit, but I'm just a lot in a better mood in general, but it's also a lot more stable, and I'm also better at like
So
reasoning.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome to hear that you're really
I'm a lot better than I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're really trying to improve your life and taking all the
It
steps
worked.
to it, like you're a true
Took 10 years, but it
advocate.
worked.
Yeah, but I mean, the battle never ends, which is the
No.
hard part. But like, you're a good advocate. Like, I know you, like, I know you don't like post a lot about your like mental struggles, or at least in your post, which is totally fine. But to me, I find like advocacy doesn't mean that you post about anything. I think the best advocates are the people that they go to their shit and just like living a well balanced or a good life. That's really like the best thing you can
Yeah.
do, I
And I'm
guess.
really grateful for it. Because,
Yeah, I mean it's awesome to hear you thriving. Like,
yeah.
congrats to you. A round of applause for you.
Thank you. Sorry, that's, yeah.
No, no worries. Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling. So now you work in geriatrics. So like, what do you think is more difficult, the disabled community or old people?
Good question. Well, I think it always, well, honestly, I think it depends how you look, how you see it. Because with the elderly, it kind of goes down, there's not much potential of getting better when you're like with the person who's 90 and have dementia and has dementia. There's not like that big of a potential to go back up. It really is going to go
True,
down.
true.
That what they try to do is keep, I don't know how to say this in English, so I'm just gonna have to translate. You just try to like, you look at the capacities, like physical or intellectual capacities that the person still has, and you just try to keep those still functioning as long as possible. You're not going to try to get to that much better. So versus someone with a disability who's like 20, an intellectual disability who's like 20 kid, there's a lot more range of like things you can try and things you can try to develop with time, but with the elderly it kind of goes backwards.
The elderly people are thumbs down.
No, they're not a thumbs down. I just mean like if you look at the like, I don't know, there's not really, I don't know how to say it. I really like the work I do with them. I do, but I mean, if you look at like, let's say, achievements wise, you're not
Mhm.
gonna get that much like hard steps up with elderly people. But I really do love working with them. It's fun. I don't know. I just like the I think it's really interesting. People with dementia, some of them, they do something. You give them like, a reborn doll or just any doll and they think it's like their child. They can see like they think it's their own child they had like years back, and so they really treat it like a real child. And
Oh my god.
um yeah, that, and also there's like robotic dogs and cats. That's the same thing. They think they're real, so they're like they just treat them like real animals, and it calms a lot of them down, so it keeps them like calm, which is great. But it's just really cool to see them interacting with those. Yeah, that's, I like that. I think it's very interesting, and also it's kind of, it's always new. I mean, it's also client group which you kind of have to try to see what works today, what doesn't work today, because their physical health can like vary a lot from one day to another. One thing is like with dementia, they say a lot of things that are surprising sometimes, and it's funny. And sometimes it's not as funny, but I mean, it's always a surprise what they're gonna say, and you kind of gotta go with it. I mean, it depends. If it's something that's like stressing them out, you don't go with it. Like, you just go like, hey, no, no, we're in the hospital right now. You're fine. We're taking care of you. Look, we are at this hospital. But if it's something that's like not doing anything bad for anyone and it's just keeping them calm, like, the babies, the dolls that they see as real babies, I mean, you don't just go, this is a doll. I mean, you just go with it. if it's something that makes them happy and it's not like doing anything bad, you just go with it. But if it's, yeah, if it's something that's stressful, then you kind of gotta find a way to bring them back to where we are right now and that it's not real. Like I have, this is from my friend though. One of my friends, her grandma is, I want to say Polish because I really think she was Polish, but she was either from Poland or Germany. And she lived during World War II and she had Alzheimer's later in life and she was like hiding from bombs in the year 2000 in Canada because
Oh my
she thought
God.
they were bombs. She was like during the war. So that's like a situation where clearly you have to help them get out of it because that's not.
Oh my God.
And I think one time she told me my friend she would just grandma she was just like talking like okay bye, and then at some point she just went Hitler.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's intense right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, characteristic in Alzheimer's is that it really goes like clockwise backward. Like you're gonna it's gonna you're gonna go back all the stages of your life from like now to back
Yeah.
to when you were born. So yeah, she was in that stage where it was war time. So
Oh my God.
yeah, so it can be bad. It just depends. Well, yeah, and if working with the elderly kind of like made me realize like no matter what you wanna, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter anything, like anybody can develop dementia and like be stuck in a hospital and have little to no. Is autonomy a word in English? Independence.
Yeah.
This is Sunflower.
Oh yeah. Hello there.
His name in French, I call it, his name is Tournesol in French, but it translates to sunflower in English.
Okay.
He's my rescue alarm clock.
The ruiner of sleeps.
Yeah. Look at him, he looks like the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he had a nice white, like yeah, he has like a half mask on.
Yeah. So I call him Sunflower of the Opera.
Okay.
My
Yeah,
favorite.
it's crazy dealing. Yeah, my grandmother had um dementia. So like, well, like I mentioned before, that my family speaks Czech and English, but she doesn't. So her first language was Czech. So now she doesn't know what English is. I think she understands English. I'm not sure.
But
Well,
she
like
might not
she's
be
now
able to.
like in her like teen time now.
Okay,
Like
that's
it's just
my. I
crazy
mean,
how her brain works.
it's always hard for the family when they have a family member going through that. I mean, I'm lucky my four grandparents are alive and well. So I'm
Wow.
very lucky for that. I haven't been through it yet personally, but I mean, at some point might happen. I mean, but yeah, as I was saying, nobody like is safe from that, from dementia and Alzheimer's and those
Yeah. Well,
diseases
I mean,
that,
it's just a horrible way to end your life because you don't really know your life is over. Like
yeah,
the person itself is just like gone.
yeah,
Like
no, that, yeah. Ugh,
it's
yeah, no, no,
horrible.
it's
Like you just have to let them. But it's also interesting to watch them like live, I guess, because like my grandmother lives half alone, but like it's like insane to me. Like she knows, she can understand like some concept. Like she knows where the bathroom is, so
yeah,
like she goes in there. So like she can remember that. She remembers like where a table is. She remembers like how to eat food and such. But like she just can't remember like anything. Like
yeah, no.
she had like no memory capacity. But like she
Yeah, does
remembers
she remember
some.
her family members? Does she remember you
No,
guys?
she had no
No?
idea who anybody is.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that
Yeah.
must be hard. That must be really hard. Yeah, I'm
Well,
lucky I haven't gone through it yet, but
it's weird. We only gone to it. I have four grandparents, and she's the last one alive. And knowing
Yeah.
she had dementia, so but still, it's just like I'd rather have them die suddenly almost than just like a slow, not knowing who they are as a person. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's there, but I don't feel like she's my grandma anymore because she had no idea who I am or
Mm.
really anybody is. Like, like for me, there's no point of me visiting her because there's no connection at all. There's just like nothing there,
Yeah.
and like it's. I mean, it's shitty like from an outside perspective, but the thing is, like, they don't know it. They don't know. Like, they
Yeah,
don't, like,
that's kind of a
oh,
good thing though. I feel like that's kind of a good thing that they don't realize it as much.
no, they have no idea. They're just even think my parents tricked themselves thinking, like, eventually, like, she'll, like, remember everything, but I don't think she really remembers anything. I think she just kind of goes with the flow of things. Or
Yeah?
something in her mind thinks, like, this guy is not a intruder. Like, okay,
Yeah.
But,
No, that's definitely stressful though. But
yeah, so it's,
oh wait, I have an example for that though. This is another person I know's grandma had Alzheimer's, and they had problems where she was living in the home she was living because with the mirrors in her room, she thought somebody was in her apartment because she didn't recognize herself that it was in the mirror.
oh
It
my
was her.
God,
So
that's
she would think
crazy.
it was someone else.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Canada, you can euthanize yourself, but you can't kill another person like Alzheimer's
Yeah.
respectfully, which really sucks though. Because I don't know, I think this is a horrible way to go because they're just like a shell of human. They're just like default.
Yeah.
They're like a default human, I guess. That's the best way to put it. Like they just, I don't know. It's weird. Like it's weird how the mind like works tremendously.
Yeah. Oh
But
God, look, it's the wrestling match.
uh-oh. Well, the last one is definitely what? Oh,
I'm not sure right now because they're meowing a bit.
I thought the left one was winning, but now I think the right one is winning.
What?
Oh, I thought the left one was winning, but now I think the right one has taken control of the
Yeah,
match.
who's winning?
Oh,
They always it's kind of hard to tell because now they're meowing a bit, but I mean, if they were fighting, I think one of them would have tried to leave, but
no, I think they're playing because yeah, they're playing because they're exposing their stomachs.
yeah, yeah,
Like you don't want to do that during a fight.
no, they're being my children. They fight all the well, they play all the
Uh,
time, which is why I adopted a second cat. I got this one first. And that's one thing that I love from not being an addict anymore. Sorry, my blanket. It's I'm so much like more present with my cats, but I mean like I have so much like more love to give, and I love to make them happy, and I love seeing them fight war,
oh yeah, it's entertaining.
and
Forget this
I just
interview. We're just gonna
love
watch
my
the
cats.
cats.
What?
Forget this interview. We're just gonna watch the cats.
Yeah. It's like being sober, I just love the cats even more. And yeah, I just really love them.
Yeah, I
So
mean, at least you have entertaining cats. My cat is kind of just boring.
yeah, well, some cats are like that.
Yeah, like you got, and then they also like each other, which is great. There are some cats that just hate
Yeah,
each other or
because
torment each
yeah,
other.
I was very
So
lucky. They love each other. They're
yeah, that's
always
awesome.
like this.
But are they siblings or are they just two random cats together?
No, two random cats. This is
Oh shit.
Pimpon. Pimpon. There's no translation because it's not a word. It's a sound in French. It would be the sound of a fire truck.
Oh, siren.
Yeah,
That's what.
that of a fire truck in particular. I don't know. I just felt like calling him that, and so I got this one in 2021. He is now 6 years old, and this is sunflower, the black one. This one is sunflower, Touresol, and I got him in January at a cat rescue where I was a volunteer. I was a volunteer at the cat rescue while I was like off work, back from rehab and waiting to go back to work. And so I adopted him from there, and he is he was in the streets, so they don't know when he was born exactly, but he's probably about 10 months now.
Oh, so they're new. Like they're brand new to the world.
Well, he is. That one's 6, but
I mean, that's like
I
young
mean,
age
for us
still.
it is, but a 6-year-old cat is an adult cat in cat years.
Yeah, I know, but they can live to like 20 years old easily. So
Yeah,
that's a long life.
yeah.
It's a hell of a long life. Okay, well, so would you say that your cat keep you grounded, or like what keeps you
Yeah.
grounded?
Yeah, I mean, I was at work yesterday and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to go see my cats. It's like, well, yes, they do keep me grounded. They are a motivation to stay sober also, because when I was using at some point, I had to leave my cat, my first cat, with my parents for a while because I really wasn't doing good, and my apartment was a mess and it was just really too much. But now I got him back, and I got another one to play with him because they're both very social. So since I'm back in school and I'm back to work, I wanted him to have like a friend to play with while I'm not there. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the idea of like relapsing, I'm like, I just don't want to like hurt the cats. I don't want to have to get rid of the cat. So that's a good like motivation not to, because I want to stay grounded and present for them, even though they wrestle.
Well, they're entertaining as fuck though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take them.
No, I'm good. No, they're staying with me. No relapse.
Hey, that's awesome. Like, yeah, so like, what's harder for you, mental health or being a rugby player?
What's harder?
What's harder, being dealing with your mental health or being a rugby player?
Dealing with my mental health. I love rugby. Honestly, I played for like 7 years. I haven't played this summer. I might try again this summer, but next summer. But honestly, I don't know the rules of the game.
You
I just
don't?
like run and tackle because I'm really, really good at tackling. That's what I like in the sport. The rest of it, I'm kind of like, okay.
Really?
But
Wait, so you play and you have no idea the rules?
kind of. I mean, of course, I know the basis, but there's a bunch of there's so many rules in that game. Like, I definitely don't know all of them. I don't even know if I know half of them. I really just what I'm good at is tackling, so I just freaking tackle everyone I see.
Okay, I mean, seem to be doing a good job, I guess.
Yes, in tackling. The rest, I'm like, it's fine, but
I guess your teammate doesn't know that, so.
I'm pretty sure they know. I mean, you can kind of tell. I'm pretty lost. But then it's just, yeah, I just grab the ball and run. I'm good.
Okay, I never really. I guess that's the point of the game, right? I don't
Yeah,
know. I, okay, you're doing something good. At least you run in the right direction, right?
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like, well, I mean, I guess you don't do rugby, so like, you ever to pretend like another person is like I don't know, something bothering you and to pretend that person is, and then you just tackle them to like
No,
release your anger,
no,
I
I
guess.
do not. It does help me release my inner beast, but I do not imagine other things. But I should. That's a good idea.
I mean, whatever works for you. I mean, you're clearly killing it though, and you're doing great.
Yeah,
You're doing great. Year and 1 month. I
yeah.
mean, I don't have an addiction, so I can't personally say, but it's hard for anybody and everybody that does 1 month, 2 months, 10 months, 10 years. So
Yeah.
I do know that it's hard, but it never goes away.
Yeah.
Like it's always a constant battle. But I'm really
Hmm.
happy for you to you're
Thank you.
sticking to it, and I would hate you to relax
Yeah,
again. I
go back
wouldn't.
down. Yeah, no, that's it. What, yeah. What
Well,
else?
yeah,
Oh,
I
wait,
guess
here's
so.
a random thing I wanted to talk
Sure.
about when I was the very unique nickname. When I was 12, I went to summer camp in New Hampshire,
Okay.
and and my name Veronique is not an English name. It's
Uh,
very French Canadian. Well,
yeah,
just
I was ready to say Veronique.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for some reason, some people when they see the QUE, they kind of like lose it. And
Yeah, I did too.
yeah, so there there was always like a day where everybody would come in on the same day or on the same time, and then you get to know the people in your cabin, and then so I can repeat my name 14 times so that 3 days later they can say it right. One of the girls in my cabin wasn't there that day. She had come in late. So
Oh.
she didn't get to hear me repeat it 14 times. So we were just a few days later, we were playing this game with our cabin, and she had to say my name because she had to invent a story, and I was in that story for the game. And she was like, "So Abby and Very Unique were walking in the woods," and I was like, "Did you just call me Very Unique?" And it's like, "No, man, no, that's not no, not my name." But yeah, and then it started with that, and it was like hilarious. But it also fits pretty well with my weird ass personality.
Oh
So
yeah.
it stuck. And a lot of people call me very unique who were not part of that joke. And yes, it's kind of like my nickname for it's
I
been
mean,
for a long
it's
time.
kind of perfect for you though, like,
Yeah, it is. It really fits well with who I am and how I am. So
and I'm glad
but it
people
stuck.
stuck with it too. That's perfect for you though. Like, I couldn't think of a different name for you. Like,
Yeah, and
oh,
it did also help me kind of accept who I am. Because I do feel different a lot. And that can be hard sometimes because you don't always want to be the odd one out, but when you don't realize what you're doing that's odd, it's kind of hard.
mm-hmm.
And so the fact that they're like, oh no, it's just because you're very unique, and it's kind of like it's funny, and it really lights, it makes the mood lighter. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
having that
so clever.
nickname having that nickname kind of helped me to accept who I am and kind of find humor out of it.
Oh yeah, you need like one of those LED lights with your name on your wall, or
Yeah,
like a
very
poster.
unique. I have those. I have these ones, the little fairies.
Yeah, you can definitely. But it's kind of like it's an entendre word. Like you have it very unique, and you have it as your real name, so it's perfect for you. Like
Yeah,
most people don't get that chance.
no.
So, okay. So before I take the mic away from you, is there anything you want to say? Promote? Any words of wisdom? The winning lottery numbers? The mic is all yours.
Um, what I'd say for anybody who's struggling with like their mental health in general, but it might take time and it might take turns you didn't expect or you didn't want. But really, if you just keep trying to get up and doing your best, it will help. And sometimes the things you don't expect will help are the things that are going to help the most. So just be open to trying new things, keep going, and just do it. No, but like it really does get better. I mean, it took 10 years for me, but I mean, I'm happy now, so it's not like it's not like I had 10 nice years, but it was kind of worth it in the end for what I have
Mm-hmm.
now. So just if you're struggling, there's always hope. And one thing two things, one for addiction and one thing that helps me go through hard days. Um, One thing that helps me not to relapse because I do sometimes want to use, I mean, it's still a need that I feel I have sometimes. I don't do it, but when I want to use, I tell myself, hey, because usually it's more like at night, and I'm gonna be like, hey, so tomorrow morning I'm gonna be so much prouder of myself if I don't use than if I use and wake up like hungover. I'm gonna be really down. My mood is gonna go down. I'll be sad because I relapse. But if I don't use, if I fight the urge, I will be much more proud of myself the next day than if I just use and calm the need I have right now. Um, and it works every time because the next morning I feel proud. So that's great. Another thing that helps me go through bad days is I tell myself when my days are really hard, I tell myself, I've survived all of my bad days. Why would today be different? So those are two things, and like just be yourself, and humans make mistakes. And also one thing I've been struggling with recently is as I said a lot, I've done mistakes in the past, and I do sometimes stress about because there are people in life who don't like me, but that's just part of life. Not everybody likes each other, so. But I started thinking instead of like thinking about all the people who don't like me, I'm just like, there's so much more people who do like me than people who don't. So why not concentrate on all the ones who do like me than to stress about the ones who don't. So that's pretty much it.
I mean, you nailed it perfectly. I'm glad to see you blossoming and being a good advocate.
Thank
So
you.
thank you, Veronique, for giving me your time and expertise. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. And if you want to follow Veronique, all her links to her social will be in the description below. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Joe.